Hi, today we're talking about navigating Social Security. During our Elements in Focus, this is where myself and one of our advisor team is breaking down our 5 critical elements. And as you can see here on the screen, we're talking about your life after work. Today, I've got Grant Thompson, one of our certified financial planners who's been with FEG for a number of years. He's going to walk us through the Social Security side of things. And just like everything that we do and the content that we put out at FEG, there are so many nuances, so many things to consider when you're walking through making this decision. Our job is to help you not make this decision in a silo or think about it through a cookie cutter approach, because it's not one size fits all. So, Grant, I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's talk about Social Security benefits and enlighten some folks on what we think as planners here at FEG about Social Security.
Absolutely. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, Social Security is obviously, it's always a big topic. It's something that families for sure want to cover. It's at the top of their priority list. And so, just some basics around Social Security. You can start taking your benefit at age 62, and you can delay that all the way till age 70. Basically, how that works is it grows every year that you delay it. So from age 62 to 67, it's going to grow by 6% a year. And then from 67 to age 70, it's actually going to grow by 8% a year. Okay. So a lot of people want to know also, how is that taxed? What's that look like? So the max that can be taxed is up to 85%. Now, a lot of people get that confused. That's not an 85% tax rate. That is 85% of the benefit. So 85 cents of every dollar that you make through Social Security can be taxed. Now, there's going to be things like income from other places that's going to decide that. And that's something that you would have to look at, preferably with a financial planner, so they can look at how that's going to affect you. The big question that we get is always, well, when do I take it? A lot of people say you should take it as soon as you can because it's going to go away. A lot of people say you should delay it. And so really there's a couple of ways that we're going to look at this. The first thing that we're going to look at is, what's your standard of living? What does that take to maintain your standard of living the way that you want to live? Right. So that's going to determine how and when we take that. What's your health like? Some people with health issues, we tell them to take it as soon as they can because life expectancy might be cut and that sort of thing. And then the final thing that we're going to look at is, what other assets do you have? If you have a bunch of other assets that you can pull from, a lot of times we're going to tell families to delay that. What that does is that's going to help your benefit grow. That's also going to help you down the road tax wise. And then obviously here as of late, the big beautiful bill has been passed. I've had a lot of questions about how that's going to affect family Social Security. From everything that I'm seeing as of now that could change between now and next year. We're obviously staying up to date on that. There's no real big changes on Social Security that's going to affect too many of our families. There's a couple changes in there, but again, that's going to be dependent upon the person. So I would say when it comes to Social Security, what you need to do, you need to get preferably again with a professional so they can look at your whole situation, because just like always with everything we do here, it's not a one size fits all, and there's many different ways to look at how to do this. We just want to make sure that you're maximizing your benefit, but also maximizing the tax impact that has. And so, Aaron, is there anything that I missed or anything that you would add to that?
Just a couple. Yeah, you did very, very well. Just elaborate a little bit more on, the type of asset that we would look at specifically. If you have large amounts of IRA dollars, it sometimes makes sense to delay Social Security and draw out of your IRA when you're in a lower tax bracket. That allows your Social Security benefit to grow. What it does is it can reduce future required minimum distributions, which are at age 73 today. Another little nuance is, looking at how your spouse's benefit works as well, right, Grant?
Yep.
And so sometimes there may be a higher incoming earning spouse where their Social Security benefits larger. What we have to plan for is not just today, but it's today and tomorrow. So if there's a spouse that has a significantly higher benefit, sometimes it makes sense for them to continue to delay until age 70 so they get the maximum benefit and start their spouse's Social Security maybe a little bit early. And the reason for that is because upon passing, you inherit the higher of the two Social Securities. So if you delay and get that 8% a year after 67, like Grant said, there's just some wonderful planning opportunities to use inside of that. And that is why you can't do this in a silo or read articles and say, hey, you have to take it at 62, because they, and I mean they, is a big word, they don't understand your full financial picture. So if you don't understand your standard of living, if you don't know life expectancy, if you don't know someone's asset size, you can't give information regarding when to take Social Security. If you're wanting a professional to evaluate the situation, look at your overall financial plan, and give you a holistic view on when you should take that, please reach out to us, 800-928-4001. You can schedule your next steps meeting. That is complimentary with one of the advisors on our team. In an hour and a half, we'll review your situation, give you things to think about today, things to think about in the future, and if we decide to partner together, a written plan of what FEG will do for you. If you have a specific question, send it to talktofeg@yourlifeafterwork.com, or reach out to us again at yourlifeafterwork.com. Fill out that contact us form, and one of our advisors would be happy to sit down and do that meeting with you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.